Hey, it's Lauren, and welcome to The Afterlight. This is an excerpt from my conversation with Julie Ryan. To listen to that entire episode, head to the show notes. I've got a link there.
Yes. When people are very afraid to die, as somebody's dying, they go through what I call the 12 phases of transition. And these are different configurations where the dying person is surrounded by angels and deceased loved ones and the spirits of deceased pets. And everybody goes through 12 phases, Lauren, whether they do it very instantly, like in the case of a homicide or suicide, where they die right away, or whether it's prolonged over days, weeks, months. And what I find is sometimes people are super afraid to die because they've really drunk the Kool-Aid is the saying, but they've been so inundated with these beliefs about heaven and hell and that kind of thing. And I walk through kind of a dress rehearsal with them about here's what's going to happen when at the end when you transition. You're going to be carried off to heaven by angels, and there are going to be deceased loved ones spirits. They're going to be waiting on the other side of the pearly gates for you, and as soon as you walk through, they're going to be there to greet you and to welcome you to heaven. So I call them the Welcome to Heaven Committee. and, and so what I'll do, and what I did with this nun, there was an elderly nun, talk about drinking the Kool-Aid. She'd lived her whole life as a nun, and that was somebody that I would have thought would have been had no fear and would have just been ready to go, but she had a tremendous amount of fear. Exactly, exactly. But she'd heard so much about she was a sinner and she needed to repent, and I am not worthy, that kind of stuff. So we walked through the desert, we walk into the setting sun, we get into a wormhole. And then once we get into this wormhole, it's totally void of any sight or smell or sound or temperature or light, completely black. And we were vertical as we're walking through the sand towards into the setting sun. And then we go horizontal and we're pulled like we're being sucked through this wormhole tunnel. And it happens in a nanosecond because remember, time doesn't exist in the spirit world. And once we get on the other side of the tunnel, it's like a wormhole that they have in outer space in between times and galaxies. Astronomers have identified these wormholes. If you look them up, I mean, there's lots of information on them. And when we get on the other side, then what happens is we walk through this plasma wall that's brilliant white light as I perceive it. Again, I've never seen St. Peter out in front of a brick or a stone gate, stone wall, checking people off. Okay, you're allowed in, you're not, kind of a thing. And once we go through this plasma wall, Lauren, it completely closes back up. And then all their deceased loved ones are there waiting for them to greet them.